Medieval India, chapter number 11, page number 128. The Vaishnavite movement. Apart from the non-sectarian movement led by Kabir and Nanak, the Bhakti movement in North India developed during the worship of Ram and Krishna, two of the incarnations of the god Vishnu. The childhood escapades of the boy Krishna and his dalliance with the milkmaids of Gokul, especially with Radha, became the themes of a remarkable series of saint poets who lived and preached during the 15th and early 16th centuries. They used the love between Radha and Krishna as an allegoric manner to depict the relationship of love in its various aspects of the individual soul with the Supreme Soul. Like the early Sufis, Chaitanya popularized musical gathering or kirtan as a special form of mystic experience, in which the outside world disappeared by dwelling on God's name. According to Chaitanya, worship consisted of love and devotion and song and dance, which produced a state of ecstasy in which the presence of God, whom he called Hari, could be realized. Such a worship could be carried out by all, irrespective of caste and creed. The writings of Narsim Mehta in Gujarat, of Meera in Rajasthan, of Surdas in western Uttar Pradesh, and of Chaitanya in Bengal and Odisha reached extraordinary heights of lyrical fervor and of love which transcended all boundaries, including those of caste and creed. These saints were prepared to welcome into their fold everyone, irrespective of caste or creed. This is seen most clearly in the life of Chaitanya. Born and schooled in Nadia, which was the center of Vedantic rationalism, Chaitanya's tenor of life was changed when he visited Gaya at the age of 22 and was initiated into the Krishna cult by a recluse. He became a God-intoxicated devotee who incessantly uttered the name of Krishna. Chaitanya is said to have travelled all over India, including Vrindavan, when he revived the Krishna cult. But most of his time was spent at Gaya. He exerted an extraordinary influence, particularly in the eastern parts of India, and attracted a wide following, including some Muslims and people from low castes. He did not reject the scriptures or idol worship, though he cannot be classified as a traditionalist. All the saint poets mentioned above remained within the broad framework of Hinduism. Their philosophic beliefs were a brand of Vedantic monoism which emphasized the fundamental unity of God and the created world. The Vedantic philosophy had been propounded by a number of thinkers, but the one who probably influenced the saint poets most was Vallabha, a Telang Brahmin who lived in the last part of 15th and the early part of the 16th century. The approach of these saint poets was broadly humanistic. They emphasized the broadest human sentiments, the sentiments of love and beauty in all their forms. Like the other non-sectarians, they were not able to make an effective breach in the caste system. However, they softened its rigor and built a platform for unity which could be apprehended by wider sections. The basic concepts of the saint poets were reciprocated into a remarkable degree by the Sufi poets and saints of the period. During the 15th century, the monistic ideas of the great Arab philosopher Ibn Arabi became popular among broad sections in India. Arabi had been vehemently denounced by the orthodox elements and his followers persecuted because he held that all being is essentially one, and everything is manifestation of the divine substance. Thus, in his opinion, the different religions were identical. Arabi's doctrine of unity of being is known as Tawhid-e-Wujudi, unity of being. This doctrine kept on gaining in popularity in India and became the main basis of the Sufi thought before the time of Akbar. Contact with yogis and Hindu saints went a long way in popularizing the concept of pantheism. The Indian Sufis started taking more interest in Sanskrit and Hindi, and a few of them, such as Malik Muhammad Jaisi, composed their works in Hindi. The bhakti songs of the Vaishnavite saints, written in Hindi and other languages, touched the hearts of Sufis more than Persian poetry did. The use of Hindi songs became so popular that an eminent Sufi, Abdul Wahid Belgrami, wrote a treatise, Haqaqiq-e-Hindi, in which he tried to explain such words as Krishna, Murli, Gopis, Radha, Yamuna, etc. in Sufi mystic terms. Thus, during the 15th and the early part of 16th century, the Bhakti and the Sufi saints had worked out in a remarkable manner a common platform on which people belonging to various sects and creeds could meet and understand each other. This was the essential background to the ideas of Akbar and his concept of Tawheed, or unity of all religions. Thank you everyone for tuning in. In the next part, we'll start with literature and fine arts on page number 129 for chapter number 11. On this page, you could see some more playlists that we have created for you for the previous chapters. Do look at them and keep supporting us by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you everyone and all the best.